Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We met again a lesson about introduction to Mohammedan law. Chapter 1, Preliminary Concept. The word Shariah is the general name given to the Mohammedan dispensation and is defined by the doctors as that which would not be known had there not been a divine revelation. This definition of Shariah is broad enough to include the revelation made by the Hebrew prophets and Jesus. But that revelations are considered valid only insofar as they have been confirmed by those made through Muhammad. The last, therefore, are the Shariah par excellence. A second corollary from the above definition is that only what is expressly stated in the divine revelation or may be inferred from them by analogy properly comes under Shariah, matters determined by intellectual process or mind. Therefore, outside example, the obligation of belief in God or the prophet is outside of Shariah because it is a matter to be established intellectually. Inasmuch as the prescription contained in the Shariah, to use a judicial analogy, serve as evidence for the establishment of Shariah follower. They have been called by the doctors Shariah evidences or Adila Shariah, with reference to the source from which these evidence are obtained. The doctors have distinguished four types of Shariah evidence, namely, first, the Quran, two, the Sunnah, three, the Ijma, and four, the Qiyas. A Shariah follower or Hukm Shari is defined as the quality determined as a result of divine revelation. Example, the fact of a human act like lying being prohibited in the Shariah, it is Shariah follower. The science which derives the Shariah follower from the Shariah evidence is the science of fiqh, or simply fiqh, and the person conversant with the science is the faqih. Fiqh has been defined by Abu Hanifa in a general way as the self-knowledge of what is to its advantage and disadvantage. This definition, it will be observed, is very broad and includes matters of conduct or amalia, as well as matter of belief or itikadiyah, and the ethic or wijdaniyah. Some have restricted fiqh only to matter of conduct such as civil transaction or muamalah and religious ritual or ibadah. Fiqh has been defined also in a specific wise as the detection of the Shariah follower relating to conduct from their respective particular or tafsili evidence. By the use of the term Shariah, it is intended to leave out intellectual and perceptual value, such as the obligation of belief in God and the Prophet. The word conduct excludes point of theory, example that the ijma is a lawful evidence for the establishment of Sharia value. Deduction excludes knowledge acquired from a mujtahid instead of by direct inquiry into the evidence. According to this, a person is not called a faqih when he only knows the Sharia value. He is called a faqih only if he has himself, by personal inquiry and thought, deduced those value. This definition is according to the Shafi'ite doctors. The Hanifite definition and the one adopted in the modern Ottoman civil code or majalah ignore the way in which this knowledge has been obtained. Consequently, the more knowledge of the Sharia value is fiqh, and the person who has this knowledge is a faqih. In other words, a faqih need not be a mujtahid. Finally, the term particular indicated that the premise which fiqh uses are not directly obtained from the four Sharia evidence, namely the Quran, the Sunnah, the Ijma, and the Qiyas. These evidence, as they stand, are too general or ijmali, and are not available for the purpose of fiqh until after they have been reduced by a particular science to logical proportion, each relating to one particular set of value. This particular science, which prepares its premise for fiqh, is the so-called science of usul al-fiqh. Literally, the science of the basis of fiqh. It has been called so because the four Sharia evidence above mentioned, which from its subject matter are in the last analysis the four bases on which deduction of fiqh rests. The science of usul al-fiqh has been defined by the doctors as the science of the principle whereby one reads fiqh in the true way. The definition needs explanation. Usul al-fiqh or usul fiqh discloses only those principles which are immediately necessary for reaching fiqh. In other words, it doesn't concern itself with less immediate subject like language and syntax or dogmatic or kalam, although they too are necessary. On the other hand, the expression in the true way is intended to exclude controversial subject. The function of usul al-fiqh is then to prepare the premise which are to be used in fiqh in establishing the Sharia value in particular case. Thus, usul al-fiqh provided for fiqh as premier certain universal proposition or qawaid kulliyah to be used by fiqh in deriving the provision of the law applicable to particular case. For example, usul al-fiqh tells that under such and such condition, ijma constitutes an evidence for the establishment of a Sharia value. Fiqh takes this proposition as a premise and deduces from it the conclusion that the practice, example of istisna, is lawful because there is an ijma to that effect. Or again, usul al-fiqh tell us that under certain condition, analogy or qiyas is lawful means of establishing a Sharia follower. In short, Usul al-Fiqh discuss the Sharia evidence that is the basis of fiqh, insofar as they may be used as evidence for establishment of the Sharia follower, and the Sharia follower insofar as they are deduced from the Sharia evidence. But it does not discuss what the Sharia follower are in particular case, that being the function of fiqh. Okay, so we close our session about Mohammedan law and in introduction. So far, I hope so far it's so good and so nice and so fun, so so right about a follower of Sharia. Then we know the follower of Shariah is becoming a bestman or the best about take the decision about Islamic economy. Thank you very much. See you again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.